What's up everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a little bit of a bonus video for you guys. Last year I had you guys take a poll to see if you wanted to see an entire usual full-length Halloween decorate with me video or if you wanted a video for each area that I decorate. Last year we all decided that I was gonna do a video per area and I did have fun with it. I did. Upon reflection, I have realized that I really miss the format of doing it as a full video. Yeah, I'm just a little sad that last year did not get its usual format. We experimented, we tried it out, it was fine, but it has been eating me up inside. So I hope that you enjoy this little director's cut that I put together of the most previous Halloween season's Decorate With Me. This is just a bonus video. This is not taking the place of any other new content that I'm going to have for you guys. I just wanted to put this out there to fix it, to make myself feel a little bit better about it, and to hopefully get in the mood for decorating. Here is my little director's cut Halloween Decorate With Me. I hope you guys enjoy. First things first, you guys know the drill. We brought in all of the Halloween totes from the garage and sorted through all of our decor to see what we were in the mood to use this year. We actually brought in all of our decor earlier this season in August so we can get a head start. In case you missed it, I do have a video on my channel going through all of our bins and showcasing our entire Halloween decor collection, which contains a lot of pieces from like the 90s and 2000s. If that's something you guys would like to see, I'll share the link down below. It was so much fun. I did my usual layout of all of my most beloved pieces of decor. I always sort the statement pieces by color scheme and theme, just so I can feel organized and prepared for each area of the house that I'm decorating. This layout doesn't always show everything that I end up using, but it kind of serves as a blueprint for me to get started. I ended up shooting our Art Deco living room first, and then we got started on the piano. So this is kind of like a day 2. If you're new here, it's a tradition every year to dress up our old vintage piano for Halloween. Since we don't have a fireplace in this room, we like to use the piano in place of a mantle to be the main showpiece of the family room. I already added in some corn stalks with those opaque orange lights that I love so much to set the mood. I did stick to our theme of vintage Halloween with Sleepy Hollow and Trick or Treat as constant inspiration. I started off with the classic Headless Horseman statue and then added in our new Sleepy Hollow pieces from this year's haul throughout this process. The raven on the stack of books, some spooky trees, a very realistic and distressed handmade skull, and the corn stalks, of course, I feel all tie in that Sleepy Hollow feeling. We also decided to hang the classic Sleepy Hollow artwork on the wall above the piano. I get a lot of questions every year about the Mantel scarf. I picked it up a few years ago from HomeGoods. The brand escapes me at the moment, but I will have it listed in the description if you're interested in looking for it online. Throughout the process, I added in little pieces that just felt in-your-face Halloween. The haunted house, the orange and black witch, a vintage black cat, and of course, my favorite statement piece, the copper candle holder with the Halloween silhouette, paired with my very favorite set of fairy lights from Amazon placed inside. It doesn't feel like Halloween until I see this beautiful orange glow. The black feather boa was used once again as filler in the background. It creates a very subtle vignette that closes in some of the gaps of the decor, and of course, the look is never complete until we add in the fall leaf garland. You guys know I could go on and on about this, but I digress. On top of the leaf garland, I always add these LED pumpkin lights that we picked up from Target in the early to mid 2000s. They always give me a trick-or-treat vibe. I don't know why, they just remind me of Sam's Sucker for some reason. I love them so much and I hope they never ever stop working. Instead of the usual black velvet runner, I opted for creepy cloth this year just to see what it would look like, and I ended up loving it. I think it brought out even more of a Halloween feel for me. I I decided to put these vintage inspired characters on the lower half of the piano this year, and I think it was a great fit. I usually put them at the top, but I thought that they might break the immersion of that Sleepy Hollow vibe up there, so I moved things around until it looked right to me. I know that these are all such small items, but small items when placed correctly or aesthetically to your taste can truly make a statement. Taking things that are just simply knickknacks to others and turning it into a very lavish and cohesive display. A feast for the eyes, I like to call it. Kind of like designing a display in a store window. It's a skill that I learned from my mom. She's so good at it. And I feel like with the piano specifically, I can channel what I learned from her and create something that feels like us. This style of decor may not be for everyone, but my family and I absolutely love it, and our process holds a lot of meaning and memories for us. I love to add real firewood at the base of the piano, lined with twinkling orange fairy lights to drive home that fireplace feeling. We do have a faux fireplace TV stand at the front of the room, but the piano is so large that I feel like it's the only appropriate place to serve as the fireplace placeholder. Say that 5 times fast. Fireplace placeholder, fireplace placeholder. Last but not least, we broke out the Webcaster gun once again. If you guys have never heard of it, the Webcaster is sort of like a glue gun, but you hook it to an air compressor, and after warming up for a few minutes, when you press the trigger, it shoots out very thin strands of hot glue, and it looks like genuine cobwebs. It is incredible, and it can take your decor from 0 to 100 in an instant. This is what they have used for many years on film sets and in haunted houses to give you those theatrical and realistic looking cobwebs. You can very much tell that they use the Webcaster on the set of Casper, like literally all over Whipstaff Manor, which is what makes me love this even more. That place was covered in hot glue. I'm just saying. Watch the movie again, and like now I can't unsee it. All I see is Webcaster everywhere. Both the Webcaster and the glue sticks can be found on Amazon. I will link them down below for you. Here is what everything looks like in the daytime. I'm very happy with how it turned out this year, and I'm so excited to show you guys what everything looks like lit up at night at the end of the video. I will likely be doing a new theme next year, but this year I was just feeling sticking to our roots, and I'm satisfied with that classic in-your-face Halloween vibe that we've created. Side note, I never noticed these amazing shadows that the cornstalks and spider lights cast on the wall of the stairway. Incredible. I may or may not have stopped mid-decorating to do a moody selfie photo shoot, you know? I just can't pass up a good lighting opportunity. I just can't. It looked so eerie and so amazing. I had Nightmare on Elm Street on at this moment, and I don't know, just that moody lighting and the movie being on, it was a vibe. So I had to stop and enjoy it for a moment. Before moving on to the dining room, I decided to decorate the stairway to our upstairs apartment, hence the segue of the amazing shadows on the wall. I used all of those adorable light-up jack-o'-lanterns from the Dollar Tree this year and placed them on every other stair, lined the stairs with some fall garland and fairy lights, and then added my classic crepe paper curtain for a more dramatic Halloween party effect. Absolutely in love with how this turned out. Moving on to the dining room, we are still going with that true vintage Halloween vibe, but kicked up a few notches. Some new things I added this year was an orange light curtain to the wall, framed by some black velvet curtains, and then peeking through the lights, I added these old school vintage cutouts to the wall to create a whimsical Halloween backdrop for the dining table. This is the place where we typically do our layout of foods and treats on Halloween night. I just wanted it to be even more in your face vintage Halloween, and I think all of it together really sets the scene. After dressing the table with my favorite vintage jack-o'-lantern tablecloth and this spiderweb tablecloth topper, I laid down this lovely orange lace runner. It just really ties the table together and sets a nice base for the tablescape. I decided to create a tablescape of all of my very favorite vintage Halloween pieces from the 90s, carefully placed and highlighted so they all have their own moment. I told the story behind most of these pieces in last year's Halloween Decorate With Me if you'd like to know more about their history. If it's not a vintage piece from the 90s, almost everything you see here is likely from Amazon, so I will link everything down below for you. And then in the middle of decorating, I decided why not try out some fall leaf garland in this area. And I don't know what I was thinking trying to put it on the table when the table is already so busy, but then I was looking around and I figured, hey, we could maybe line the molding with this and it could look really cool. So that's what I did, and I think it turned out really nice. It added just a little extra oomph of fall in this area and kind of tied the different tones of orange and a touch of green together, and I really like how it looks. Next, you'll see that I did decide to change the order of which I placed these vintage characters on the wall. The more I looked at it, the more unbalanced it looked. I decided that the owl would look better in the middle. So after switching everything around, I think it looks a lot more balanced now and a lot more appealing to the eye. And yes, once again, we are doing that black on black, spiderweb on spiderweb action, and I'm not mad about it. Are you mad about it? I don't know, I just like the way it looked. I think this layered look is just really appealing to my eye, so I'm gonna keep doing it. So once again, we are setting the table with these really amazing vintage inspired plates that I picked up from Amazon last year with these lovely black and orange buffalo check napkins, which just really scream in your face Halloween to me. I don't know what it is. Next, I added in these very gorgeous copper wine glasses with the Halloween silhouette that do kind of match that candle holder that's on the piano. So it does kind of tie in like the whole room together because our dining room and living rooms are conjoined, so it's a vibe. It's a vibe in real life, and I absolutely love it. But I absolutely love the way this looks, and I really enjoy fanning out the napkins. That's like my new thing. I don't know how I'm going to do napkins any other way, but fanning them out because it just looks so good. But I do love to fill these glasses with these LED light up ice cubes, and I usually like to leave it on the green setting because I think green is just the most Halloween-y setting on these ice cubes. So I like to set them to green and then top off the glass with just a little bit of green faux spider webs to give it that bubbling cauldron effect. So good. It's definitely been a tradition for a few years now. I'm gonna have to change it at some point, but I'm currently absolutely loving this, so yeah, I'm doing it again. I'm just admiring that fall leaf garland in the background though. I mean, it always brings it all together. Never underestimate the power of fall leaf garland. But something new that I did pick up this year that I didn't get to show you guys in my haul were these matching pillow covers for these vintage plates. So you guys will see that in a moment. I bought a set of 4 to match the plates. I'm using them kind of just like a chair cushion, and I think it turned out really nice. These are some really nice pillow covers, so I will link them down below for you if you guys would like to check them out. So that's it for the dining table portion. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I certainly did. I'm looking forward to showing you guys what everything looks like lit up at night at the end of the video, so stay tuned. It usually takes me an entire day or so to decorate the kitchen, so I started the process off by making a glorious cup of coffee, pulling out all the stops for the most vibey experience. I don't always have this much sugar, but I allow it during very festive moments. I consider myself a bon vivant. I do care for my health and well-being, but I believe a part of being well is actually enjoying life, and if this cup of coffee is gonna make my day, I'm gonna do it. Life is all about balance. It's almost Halloween, so make that pumpkin spice latte and enjoy yourself. The first thing I did was hang these beautiful opaque orange globe lights with some fall leaf garland near the ceiling to kick off the Halloween carnival atmosphere. This part is honestly my favorite because it is so transformative and really sets the scene. I use this command strip zip tie combination and it works like a charm. Using this combination just makes decorating so much easier. Just to note, please use a ladder if you're going to do this. I used my dad's industrial painter's ladder for this process. I have often seen other home decor YouTubers climb up onto and stand on their countertops when they decorate higher up. I would not recommend it. It is so obviously dangerous, especially if you're alone, so please stay safe and use a ladder when decorating anything that is higher up than is comfortable for you. Next, I began filling some black and orange balloons to further set the mood for the carnival kitchen. Filling up these balloons while watching ginger snaps is a tradition that I started last year. It's just such a fun, festive, and relaxing time. Oh, it just looks so magical. Just soak in the vibes, man. Once the balloons were done and the vibes were set, I began decorating the coffee bar. I kept the general theme the same this year, that Halloween carnival kitchen, as it is my absolute favorite theme for this area. I just love waking up to it every morning. It is so beautiful and one of my absolute favorite spots in the house. American Horror Story Freak Show, as well as several scare zones at Cedar Point's Hollow Weekends, always remain a constant inspiration for this theme. One of my favorite new additions this year is this Long Live Halloween print that I hung on the wall, as well as a couple of pieces from Johanna Parker's Carnival Cottage collection. I did show these items in my first decor haul this year if you'd like to know more about them. You guys already know Bones Coffee is always a must for me for this time of year, and I love highlighting these amazing vintage inspired mugs that I picked up on Amazon. They are so gorgeous. I really enjoyed this Midnight Carnival candle from 𝗟ology Candles. It totally amplifies the atmosphere that we're trying to create. I stocked the tiered tray with my favorite spooky mugs that match the black, white, and orange monochromatic color palette that I'm following, along with some Halloween straws and little odds and ends to add to our coffee. Pumpkin liqueur, Halloween sprinkles, caramel sauce, and, of course, candy corn. It's not for the coffee, it's just for the vibes, but you can put it in your coffee if you want to. Not sure how that'll turn out though. If you try it, let me know. I continued to rearrange the tray until I felt that it satisfied my OCD needs for symmetry and just not having too much of the same thing in one particular place. And then I moved on to decorating the shelves above. This trick-or-treat sign, spooky trees, and this Halloween countdown are always essential to the coffee bar for me. I always love filling in the gaps with these beautiful candy corn picks and sticks. I really don't think I'll ever decorate this room without these items present. I decided to fill this owl jar with some of my favorite Bones K-cups, as I wanted to give it a practical use than just simply sitting pretty. We live in a fairly small space, so I love when our decor can be both beautiful but practical at the same time. I continued decorating the coffee bar by adding in some fall leaf garland to the tiered tray, as well as a Halloween carnival banner and some orange fairy lights. My very favorite set from Amazon. I will link it down below. As a final step, I stocked the bottom storage shelves with some of our favorite Halloween treats, mostly items from our Trader Joe's haul, as well as any leftover decor items that needed a place to be showcased. Next, I decided to decorate a second tiered tray in the kitchen this year in the corner of one of our countertops. If you guys remember my early Decorate With Me videos, this was my very first tiered tray that I had, and I loved decorating it, so I decided to resurrect it this year. I decorated this tray mostly with this lovely set of tiered tray decor that I received from Kendra of 𝓒𝓪𝓲𝓽𝓵𝓲𝓷. Tiered Tray Decor Box curates these perfectly themed tiered tray decor boxes for every season and occasion. It is a subscription-based membership to receive a new box of themed decor every month. I received this year's Halloween box. The window to receive this particular box has closed because it is almost Halloween, but I would encourage you to check out the website and see if you're interested in signing up for the membership to receive the upcoming boxes for the holiday season. If you're interested in making a purchase, I do have a 10% off code for you. Use 𝗟𝓪𝓲𝓽𝓵 at checkout to receive 10% off of your purchase. I am not sponsored and I do not receive any commission. I just simply love this service. It is such a great idea to receive a monthly tiered tray decor box. I mean, it cuts out a lot of planning, a lot of decor hunting, because everything is curated for you for a certain theme and a certain season. I absolutely love that. You guys know that is totally up my alley, and I just think a service like this makes everything so much easier, especially if you're super busy and you don't have time to shop and decor hunt and just put together things that just go really well together. Like, this just cuts out half of the work when decorating, and I really appreciate it. I definitely encourage you guys to check out 𝓒𝓪𝓲𝓽𝓵𝓲𝓷. I just simply absolutely love the idea of these boxes, and I want you guys to have the opportunity to check it out if you love decorating tiered trays in your home for the seasons, as I do. I kept this area completely black and white, and I absolutely love how it turned out. Thank you again to 𝗟𝓃𝓲𝓽𝓵𝓲𝓷 from 𝗟𝓃𝓲𝓽𝓵𝓲𝓷.com. You inspired me to do a second tray, to resurrect my old favorite tried and true tiered tray that I started out with on my channel, and it just gave me like just a warm fuzzy feeling decorating this tray. I had so much fun, and it was really nice to use these curated items in this area. It was truly a treat, so thank you again, 𝗟𝓃𝓲𝓽𝓵𝓲𝓷, for the free box, and I definitely encourage you guys to check out 𝗟𝓃𝓲𝓽𝓵𝓲𝓷.com. Before we get into the night montage, we are celebrating finishing the kitchen decor by making my recipe for a caramel apple margarita. I've shown this cocktail in a previous vlogoween, but I haven't yet gone into how to make it. You'll need añejo tequila, Grand Marnier, spiced apple cider, and an optional hard cider. Begin by filling your shaker with ice, and the smaller ice cubes the better. Start building the drink by adding in 1.5 ounces of añejo tequila, 1 ounce of Grand Marnier, 1.5 ounces of spiked cider, and an optional ounce of raw agave, and shake. I didn't use agave this time because the drink ends up being pretty sweet on its own, but I will say that raw dark agave does give this drink an absolute flavor boost. But if you're looking to lower your sugar intake, cutting out the agave works just fine as well. The drink still tastes amazing. After shaking, rim your glass with a caramel sauce and a sugar and pumpkin spice combo. Shake once more and pour the contents into your rim glass. Depending on the glass you've used, if your drink looks a little low, you can top it off with a hard cider float. My favorite to use is Blake's Caramel Apple Cider. Another great one is Cider Boy's Caramel Apple. Just adding a little bit of a hard cider float really amplifies the flavor even more. It's amazing. I just love how much the float complements the taste of the drink. Finish off the cocktail by garnishing it with an apple wheel sprinkled with some pumpkin spice. Add in a cinnamon stick and any little festive flourishes your Halloween heart desires. I loved using these vintage Halloween picks this year. I will link them down below. And that's it. This is my favorite cocktail recipe that I have ever concocted, and it is now an absolute staple in our household every autumn, from Halloween to Thanksgiving. It is such a treat, and if you know anyone that absolutely loves cocktails, especially fall cocktails, please share this video with them so they can check it out. Enjoy! So first things first, we put on American Horror Story Hotel to set the tone for the evening. I had already cleaned off the bar cart and laid down the base of the black velvet runner so we could just jump right in and get started. Put down some fairy lights and brought out our throw pillows, everything that just kind of sets a nice base to begin decorating. I really like to have a basic mood set before I jump into it. I started out with the main highlight pieces I wanted to use, especially this brand new candle from Bath & Body Works this year. The Wicked Vanilla Woods with the beautiful lid. I just love it so much. This clock candle pedestal is from Bath & Body Works Halloween collection from last year, and I believe I picked up this flapper sitting on the moon either last year or the year before from Michaels. For what the piece is, it is so gorgeously detailed and it's just very art deco with that style of the moon. It's just so pretty, and the art deco pedestal she's sitting on, she's an icon. Next, I brought out our very favorite vintage crystal rocks glasses. Clean lines, very geometric, very much bring out that art deco for me. Next, we are adding in this very beautiful black and gold masquerade skeleton bust, which I believe is from Home Goods. He always just brings everything together. I know it's not exactly 100% art deco, but it fits in with the vibe of just partying in the 1920s, getting dressed up, wearing very glam things. Next, we are adding in some very beautifully patterned art deco cocktail napkins that I picked up from Amazon this year. I did neglect to put that in my haul, but I will link them down below if you're interested in picking some up. Next, I'm adding in some of my very favorite stir sticks. What we're going for is just a very neutral black and gold glam spooky Halloween party. That's what we're going for. On the bottom of the bar cart, I am adding in once again my very favorite skull drink tray. And next, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was just trying things out. What this brushed gold bowl with the skeleton hand would look like down here at the bottom of the cart. Instead of just putting a skull in there this year, I opted to actually make it like semi-functional to display one of my very favorite bottles of champagne. For the price, this champagne is so delicious. If you guys have never tried it, I highly recommend it. But yeah, this bowl ended up taking up way too much space down here for what I really wanted to do with it. It's our very jolly Mr. Bones with his toothy grin that I love so much. You can see here that he ends up not fitting. So this arrangement didn't quite work out the way that I wanted it to, but that's okay. So I did decide to move it elsewhere. Here is this very beautiful art deco candle holder from the Joanne Art Deco collection a few years ago. Just adding a little LED candle in there. Some spooky trees in the back, of course, to create those very vibey shadows on the wall. And here are those glasses that I picked up in my first haul this year from the Dollar Tree. They are so beautiful and just very 1920s in my mind. So I thought I would add them to the bottom of the bar cart that we could use for cocktails or whatever have you. We do have a mini fridge in this area, so glasses on the bar cart do come in handy. And then I just added in this little black and gold set of books with the skeleton hands. And once again, as another highlight piece, I added in this black and white and gold monogrammed cutting/charcuterie board from Anthropology. I added in this Happy Halloween sign as well as these ceramic pumpkins to the floor with the art deco pillows. I know that putting things on the floor is like not a thing sometimes for some people. A lot of people don't like decorating in that manner, but since our room is so small and cozy with the low ceilings, I just really love a cute floor display because our couch is low to the ground and sometimes I'll even sit on the floor. So it's like, I don't know, it's a vibe for me and it works for me in our space. I just love having a nice little floor display to frame the bar cart. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that about my style, but I just like to add stuff to the floor. I don't know what it is. It just does something for me. Next, we are of course doing our annual bat wall. I know people are getting very tired of it. It's very old school by now, very 2016 Pinterest, but we can't have a lot of big artwork or anything like that on our walls because we have very little wall space because it is a finished attic. So I feel like putting the bats across the wall as if they're coming from the bar cart just really amplify that space. Like I can't imagine not putting the bats there. And then it goes really well with that bat blanket that I keep on the corner of the couch. I love it. I love it. I was aiming to keep the bar cart a little more toned down and simple this year, trying to highlight some pieces more and to also make it more spacey and functional so I could actually move things around, actually grab a glass, actually make a drink. So glancing over the couch, these are just a few things we've put out so far. I put Luna's little bed with Ramona because that is her favorite space in the house and she loves to be able to look out the window every morning. And then I just added some more throw blankets, these Bride of Frankenstein throw pillows. It's such a vibe. I absolutely love it. Moving on to the coffee table. First, I added in this very gorgeous spiderweb table runner with the very ornate beaded and sequined gold spiders. It is just such a beautiful runner. It's one of my favorite things we've ever bought for this area. Completely transforms the space and brings everything together. And then I added in this marble serving tray, as well as this very gorgeous black and gold painted plate with these black and gold glitter pumpkins, as well as this matte black and gold snake charcuterie board. So you know that I gotta add in my little black rocks as filler for our little candle display. So I used this plate and these gold pumpkins to frame this very beautiful Bath & Body Works candle sleeve with the black glitter cobwebs and the gold spiders. It is just so beautiful in person. I decided to use Midnight Spell in the sleeve, which was last year's candle that I highlighted on the bar cart, but I end up finding out later that Wicked Vanilla Woods actually looks much better in there, so I did end up recently switching that around, but for now it kind of worked. Next, I added in this gold spider dish with my very favorite black glass skull candle pedestal with Spooky Cider Lane, this snake hourglass, which is always such a fun piece. And then I tried adding in this spooky sign with the skull, and it worked there for a moment, but I end up changing my mind. And then I added in this little eek pumpkin with the gold spider. Everything just very much goes together, matches so well. I added in some coasters. Placement for me is everything, so I do just move everything around until it's just in the perfect spot for me aesthetically. It's like a meditation for me, honestly. Next, I added in this gold owl tiki mug that I like to use as a vase, and I use these black eyeball roses from the Dollar Tree once again in there. I think I might do something different next year with this. I mean, I love using it as a vase, but we'll see what we can come up with next year. So next, I added in some of our very favorite cocktail books that also fit the theme. This bubbly bar book is nothing but cocktails that include champagne and sparkling wine. I love it so much because I am very much a champagne lover. Vintage spirits and forgotten cocktails. I don't know why I never brought this up here so we could take a look at it and make more vintage inspired drinks up here. Just flipping through all of the very vintage cocktail recipes and history. I love it so much. And finally, there is Deco Modern Classic Cocktail, which is just one of the best cocktail books that is out there. I highly recommend picking it up if you do like to make yourself a very nice cocktail. You will learn a lot. So I ended up stacking them in a way that felt aesthetically pleasing. I then added in this I Lit the Black Flame candle, which was from Spirit Halloween. I ended up putting the Vintage Spirits and Forgotten Cocktails book over here to the right. I just felt that it worked out much better and it got its own little moment. Next, of course, we had to fill the gold spider dish with nothing other than some very delectable Twix, okay? The wrapper is gold and it is such a vibe. The skeleton hand bowl is now back with a vengeance and it wants to be used, so I ended up putting it on the left side of the table. And instead of putting black cobwebs in it, I decided, hey, why not just fill this with Halloween candy? If you guys don't remember, I did have a peanut allergy for almost half my life, but recently got tested. I am better. I am free now to actually enjoy Halloween candy without being terrified, which is such a relief. So now that I can have some, I am going to add it back into my decor. It's so freeing knowing that, like, yeah, it's candy and you shouldn't eat it a lot, but when you are deprived because you're actually allergic, you kind of look at it differently. It's just such a treat and such an experience being able to have Halloween candy again. It didn't feel like Halloween without having that ability. Sometimes, you know, you want to have a little bit of a fun size bite to experience the season. Yeah, I couldn't do that for a long time. So that is why I am highlighting so much Halloween candy on this table this year, because I'm excited about it. It doesn't feel like Halloween if Halloween candy is not around. I mean, am I right? I'm really loving the vibe and the ambiance of everything. It's so much more functional for our movie nights. Glam, but cozy at the same time. I'm just really happy with it. So here's what everything looks like in the daytime, and at the end of the video, I will give you guys that traditional night montage. So do stay tuned. But up next, we have a very simple but fun cocktail recipe. So next we are making a gin Rickey, which is a very classic 1920s cocktail, but with a little bit of a spin on it. Of course, I had to make it more Halloween-y. So you fill a highball glass with ice, and then you add in 1.5 ounces of your gin of choice, 1 ounce of lime juice, and then 1 ounce of Midori melon liqueur. And this is where the spooky twist comes in. And then top the drink off with a generous amount of Pellegrino and stir. This cocktail at its base is just gin, lime, and tonic water, but we added in the melon plum liqueur to give it that spooky twist and to give it a little bit more fun flavor for the season. Garnish with lime wheels as you see fit. Add in a festive straw and enjoy. Ooh, can you imagine in a blacklight situation, your drink will actually glow. So that's the fun part of it. You could also add in one of those light up ice cubes that I've showed you guys in previous years for even more fun. But yeah, that is my twist on a gin Rickey. I thought it tasted great because the Midori adds in that little extra kick of sweetness that you wouldn't normally get in a gin Rickey. A gin Rickey is very more spirit forward and you taste the gin a lot more. The Midori kind of blends everything together and gives it just a little hint of sweetness, which is really delicious. So if you guys try it out, let me know what you think in the comments below. Mysterious green fluid. Not gonna lie, it was a little hard for me to film the bedroom portion because I do feel like the bedroom is a very intimate area. I never really did want to show it before, but I'm doing it for you guys. I swapped out our usual bedding for this amazing Halloween bedding that I purchased last Halloween. It's honestly the dream bedding I've always wanted for Halloween. I did purchase this on Amazon and I will link it below if it's still available. Added in some very favorite Halloween throw pillows, some light up jack-o'-lanterns, and my fall tree in the corner. And then, of course, we added in some more fall leaf, garland, and fairy lights because it's a must. It is an absolute must. I dressed up the end tables next to the bed just a little bit, added in some books that I never did get to finish reading. I intended to, but time got away from me. Get you in the mood early, so that's what we're gonna do. Halloween reading. Halloween book club over here. But yeah, you guys are seeing me raw and real in my pajamas, just making my bed, man. That's what we're doing here. I wasn't sure if I'd ever do it, but we're doing it, so I hope you guys enjoyed this portion of the video. And finally coming up is, of course, the montage of everything lit up at night. I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give it a like and consider subscribing to see more content like this in the future. I plan on putting out more videos very soon, new ones, so please stay tuned. Until then, take care of yourselves and I'll see you in the next one. Stay spooky.